expandability of all the actors in the sector. When we talk of agriculture, as my colleague has said, we are looking at farming. We are looking at middle processes in place, that is a trading, conversion, industrialization, up to the sector of releasing to the market of food to the mouths of human beings. All this put together, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this motion and call upon this policy to be able to give and divine a responsibility to all the actors, one say the county government, the national government, the research centers, because the challenge farmers are going through now is the quality seeds. There is no proper research that is going to give us quality seeds that are disease resistant, that are going to yield maximum, even the seed to our animal husbandry, the AI, that is going to ensure maximum production compared to the feed that our animals are being given. So, Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion and call upon the policy implementers after this house. It should not stop here now, but we need to put it seriously, focus on our resource allocation, our resource planning, put more energy on agriculture, because this one is going to support our economy. This one is going to create employment. This one is going to bring up our youth that are vulnerable in this time and era. Go back to agriculture, enhance their living, create employment there, and maximize our food security, and create economic transformation to this nation. Thank you so much.
The MP for Roysambu, Honorable Mafrika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this policy. And before I support Mr. Speaker, when I look around here in this house, for those who are left here, Mr. Speaker, you bear me witness that if we can make an observation or we turn back, how the Minister of Agriculture used to support farmers in 70s and 80s, it was wonderful. I want to say that the Minister of Agriculture has failed since the day they withdrew the agricultural officers who used to advise farmers how to conduct farming, Mr. Speaker. If you can remember, Mr. Speaker, we used to have agricultural officers who used to go around engaging farmers, advising farmers, and telling farmers which is the best crop for which area. But today, Mr. Speaker, farmers are lacking that support. Farmers are lacking that advice. Every farmer now today undertakes his or her own ways of farming without that knowledge, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to livestock, Mr. Speaker, we used to have cattle dips during that time. Today we don't have cattle dips. Mr. Speaker, if we are to implement this policy successfully, we have highly qualified agricultural officers in this country. But we rarely see them going out there to engage farmers and advising farmers on how to conduct the best farming techniques. Mr. Speaker, if we are to succeed in this implementation of this good policy, I would say that all the agricultural officers, they should come out from the offices. They leave the business of reading newspapers in offices. They go out there to advise farmers on how to conduct the best. They give them advices on how to go about farming. Mr. Speaker, today, if you go out there, you ask a farmer which is the best fertilizer to apply on planting of maize. One will tell you 2020 type of fertilizer. You ask another one, he will tell you 2323. And this, Mr. Speaker, is due to lack of knowledge. And this knowledge is supposed to be imparted by to farmers by the agricultural officers, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I support, and at the same time, Mr. Speaker, I say that the Minister of Agriculture and our new minister should advise his agricultural officers to go out there to advise farmers on how to conduct farming. We have the best animal production officers in this country, Mr. Speaker. They also go out there to advise those who are doing animal production, livestock, on how to go about it, Mr. Speaker. I support.
The MP for Kitty Rural, Honorable David Mboni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance also to contribute to this motion. The importance, I'll start by saying that the importance of the agricultural sector cannot be understated, because agriculture sector contributes 25% of our GDP, and if you add forest, it goes to almost 30% of the GDP. It employs 80% of total employment of this country, and you know, when people are employed, they also earn income and reduce poverty, which is very common among our communities. To bring in foreign exchange, and you know, tea is the highest foreign exchange earner in the country. It also provides inputs to our agricultural farms, factories. You know, most of our industries use agricultural inputs. The Speaker, since independence from 1955, there have been different policies and plans and strategies to develop agricultural in this country, because agriculture, as you know, it also provides food to us. But agriculture sector continues to face many challenges, and this policy tries to address these challenges. Some of the challenges are highly erratic and unpredictable rainfall, especially in ASO counties where, Mr. Speaker, me and you come from. Reduction of agricultural land because of the subdivisions, and as previous speaker have said, within urban areas, most of the agricultural land have been subdivided, and they are being used for putting up low buildings, high building as settlements. It also faces low agricultural production because of the kind of inputs you are using. Most time you are getting very poor seeds, and the sector is also facing poor marketing and value addition. The sector has also faced poor governance in farmers' organizations and cooperatives, and this policy is trying to address that. Mr. Speaker, I remember a long time ago, we used to have extension officers, and I'll say, to me, it's unfortunate. Part of this sector has been given to the counties. And a long time ago, we used to have extension officers, agricultural officers, which used to advise our farmers on the kind of crops to be planted, kind of seeds which they should use. But if you go to, to the rural areas, these kind of services are no longer there. I'm a farmer, but I rarely see any extension officer coming to advise me on what to plant. And by the way, when you call them, I think you have to pay them. So some of these services, I think they need to be brought in. Mr. Speaker, and I like what the government is trying to do. Subsidizing production, because if you subsidize production, then you are creating employment. If you subsidize consumption, then you are reducing employment in this country. But some of these subsidies, like what we are seeing now, the fertilizer price is going down. You know, these subsidies only goes to where tea, coffee, sugar, maize are grown. I'm just wondering, when farmers from areas in us or these counties like me and you, are going to get subsidies. These droughts have brought a lot of misery to livestock farmers in this country. People have lost their cows, they have lost their livelihood, but the government is not coming to their aid. I don't know the policy where
we have 2 more minutes. I give you 3 minutes. Proceed. Chair gives you 3 minutes more. Allow him to have the mic. Go to the one next to you somehow.
Chair, thank you. Although this one is very short, now I'm a tall guy. So some of these subsidies should be also extended to the farmers in the household areas. I was saying that a lot of farmers have lost a lot of cows, a lot of their livestock. But I'm not seeing any government effort really to cushion those farmers. Long time ago, and you will go to other countries, government used to buy cows in the drought period. And they keep the first money for the farmers. So when the rain comes, the farmers can go back and restock. So this policy should be wholesome. They address the issues of livestock, they address the issues of fishing, and also so that everybody as a Kenyan feels that is catered for. Today I was listening to somebody from South Africa, and he was saying that this idea of GMO, you know, GMO seeds cannot be replanted. If you plant GMO seeds, then you cannot replant them. And you know, he was saying that the companies which are producing these GMO seeds, they also become cartels. They make sure that they colonize you and make sure that anytime you go and buy seeds from them at whatever price. So I support this policy, and with a few remarks, thank you very much.
I think the mover will have to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I reply to this very important debate that has taken place on this policy paper, I wish to thank all the members for their remarks, which will go a long way in enriching the implementation of this agricultural policy, sessional paper number 2 of 2021. Honorable Speaker, from the members' contribution, we have realized that as a country, we have lost a lot in terms of investing in agriculture, and many of our farmers have lost hope. But through this paper, through this policy, the hope of our people will be revived. And we have also realized that, for sure, agriculture is the backbone of our economy. And this policy needs to be implemented as soon as we can, and we also need to give it a lot of attention. Mr. Speaker, as members who are contributing, the following are some of the things that they have highlighted. Once implemented, Kenya or our country will have adequate income, and that will have direct input on our GDP, which will be improved a lot. We will also be able to provide sufficient food at a very reasonable price. That means that Kenyans will be able to afford buying food and sustaining their families. We've also realized that by doing this, we will be able to take care of the unemployed people, and especially youth. So we'll be able to create a lot of jobs, and people will be able to earn a living. Again, another important thing that we have noted from the members sharing is that there is need of proper coordination between the national and the county government. Because as of now, yes, agriculture is devolved, but a lot needs to be done, and proper coordination between the two governments. And again, in the past many years, farmers or agricultural practice has not received a lot of support from the government. And so members have said that we need to invest so that farmers can be able to do farming, and also we give attention to the small scale farmers or growers, and the idea of bottom up to be given attention. Mr. Speaker, the country or any government that cannot feed its citizen is not free. And by doing this policy, we'll be able to reduce poverty, as I've already said, and we will have a healthy society. There is need for us to cut on the importation of anything, and especially food, and by doing this, we'll be able to take care of that. As we give attention to crop production, members feel that equal attention should be given to livestock production and also fishing. There is need for us as a country to make some deliberate move so that we invest in irrigation. Now that because of climate change, we cannot anymore depend on rains, and so there is need for our country to invest in irrigation farming that will improve our food production. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to reply and request that pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, you defer the putting of the question to the following day. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order. Order. Honorable members, the honorable mover of the motion, I have indeed am directing that this matter be put on the order paper for putting the question tomorrow, the 1st of December 2022. Honorable members, the time being 6:12 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Thursday, the 1st of December 2022 at 9:30 a.m.